Well, hey, Aquarius, how about a message from your future self here on the Metal Dog Tarot? I'm going to do a 6+ card reading with a clarification. And we're going to ask about what's happening now, what's happening in the future, and then get a little advice for you about what this journey is about and who this future self is, amongst other things. All right? So let's start with a oracle here from the Good Tarot, which I like to use a tarot deck for that overall oracle energy. So we're going to ask what's happening now. And what is happening now is there's some kind of temptation. This is the card of the devil, Aquarius, in this deck called Temptation. You can see this person has eaten her heart out, this little fairy. There's all this money. Usually what we need, if you're in temptation now, you might want to get out of there. So this is perhaps a message about that. It can also be just about desire. It can be about addiction and codependence as well in the typical devil card. This one comes in, has about temptation. So then we're going to look at the bottom, see what's happening in the future. So let's see. In the future, we see a 3 of fire. Basically, you're riding towards something that you have manifested with a purpose. It can also feel like waiting, but in this deck, you appear to be riding. It's almost like a chariot feeling. Then we get one other card, which is the King of Water. King of Cups, that wise, emotionally intelligent king who's also quite quiet. It looks like you are riding towards this King of Water. It's typically a card of Scorpio. It can be any water sign, though. Yeah, so it looks like there might be some kind of dilemma, temptation that sees you encountering this King of Water in the future. I'm almost getting the feeling that it's an ill-advised journey. But let's see. We will clarify. I could be completely off. And, I just like to listen to the cards. So, what do the cards tell us about Aquarius's journey forward, starting now in the midst of just eating your heart out in this present day temptation that you're feeling? Can't even get up off the bed. You're so full of it, full of this desire is what it feels like for material things, for love, wealth. Yeah, it feels romantic in a way. So let's see. Okay, what's this journey about? That's our first question. Then we'll ask what's hidden, what you might want to embrace and release, and who this future self is. Give you a sense of where you end up. And of course, in tarot, there's free will. So perhaps this is a cautionary tale. I don't know why I'm getting that feeling. Okay, what is the journey about? The journey is about something that you put a lot of time and effort into, and this is very much in your 3D, earthy world. It can be that you literally are working with the earth, gardening, and you plant something and it produces fruit. But there's something that you invested a lot of time and effort into. So that's what this journey is about. What is hidden from you? There is the card that can totally confront the devil, the Strength card. This card beats the devil every time, and it is basically the answer to the devil or temptation, right? This is the card that is perfect. You don't realize you have this strength. So that might be something worth looking into. It's either that or there's some other kind of Leo energy around you, or somebody who has strength to combat addiction. So there is something here about strength, that you have the strength. And the Strength card My dog is having dinner. Pardon the jingle sound. So the Strength card is about reaching into your heart and rising to your highest self. It makes you safe, like your animal violence represented by the lion, usually in the Strength card, is calmed enough by love to make you safe with the most vulnerable, fragile, what would normally be your prey. So we have that with you. What shall you release here? This is everyone is getting this lately. This idea that we need to release our ideal of happiness or change it in some way. So that's your release. It's about authenticity, knowing who you are. There is a larger cycle out there in the cosmos with Jupiter has entered Aries, which is about your identity, your body. The sun is more Leo energy if you have a Leo in your life. Aquarius, another fixed sign energy. You might look back at the Leo full moon that we had very recently, last month. Something that's began there. But I get more a feeling of that Jupiter in Aries. The wounded healer has been there, so there's been some kind of work on body, self, health, authenticity, identity, or something like that. And it's as if you have completed this work. We will clarify, but that's what comes in immediately. So then what you want to embrace is the Emperor. This is being the leader of your own life. It can also be literally an Aries. Emperor is a card of Aries. And I keep having that Aries energy here. And he sits with Mars. So actually I'm not sure where Mars is. Not coming in as important as Saturn right now or Pluto. But you might check out where Mars is in your chart or in the chart we're in at the moment. So you're supposed to release something, the sun, and then embrace this. It feels very much like being the leader. There's a lot of strength here, and who's this future self? Your future self, very much like the Emperor. It's almost like if I could say the Emperor is your future self. I might use the King of Wands again, Leo energy. So you can see the lion here. Very willful, creative, authentic person that you're in. What I see here is you confronting this temptation that you're in right now and showing up in the future with the strength that you need for facing this King of Water. What's happening on the bottom here? And then we will clarify. So one card is on the bottom, which is a card of generosity, giving. It also reminds us to seek balance because this is a hierarchical relationship. It's almost like an opportunity to be generous because you're so comfortable in your skin in the future here because you've confronted temptation with strength. That's awesome. Let's see, we're going to clarify. And the Tarot of the Old Path whispered to me, I want to clarify, and so we shall clarify with this deck here. Okay, so this is a journey. It is about something that you've actually put a lot of time into. So you know what that is. It's very much your home, your career, your planet, literally gardening. But it's something that you've invested in. And you've been waiting for it to produce something, and that's why we see you here in the future riding towards something that you manifested. It's very similar energy, except in this deck, you have that forward momentum. And you're going towards whoever this King of Water is. I feel like it's somebody else. So you wanted something with the King of Water. You're riding towards it. You've invested time in it. Let's see what else the cards want to tell you about that journey that you're on. The guide. So, yeah, it's funny because I saw this upside down in the other deck. It's the same card. It's Temperance. There's a card of waiting. Waiting to be divinely supported, and of really it's kind of almost like the opposite of temptation here in the way that this looks, because this man is carrying this completely vulnerable woman into the care of the angel here. So in Temperance, it's a waiting, it's a patience, much like the Seven of Pentacles is about waiting, being patient, waiting for the right alchemizing to have happened. What else? The Magician. There's you manifesting. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that? Oh, nope. That's the Chariot. Yeah, that's the other energy that I keep talking about with this card. So we can see the Chariot, card of Cancer, riding forward on 4 horses. Very powerful. Lots of momentum. And the card that follows here on the table is actually Strength. The 8th card in Mastery is the 7th card of the major arcana. So Mastery is that kind of animal impulse, that instinctive going forward, can be a bit rough. It's very different. It's very much intention with the guide. So you've got this waiting for divine support, and then this, you kind of have like this fire. I think it's this energy of temptation. Like you're just really like motivated and compelled, and you might want to chill on that a little bit here. There's a Page of Swords. It's a young energy, like it can be that you've been looking around on social media. It can be somebody else outside of you, a chatty, but I'm kind of getting an impatient and childish energy here. So there's what it says here under the Seven of Pentacles, and what this journey is about, is that you're supposed to wait on something that you don't want to wait for, that you're just very impatient to get into, and you're having trouble not making shit happen. So that's what that energy is coming in as, Aquarius. Okay, well, unbeknownst to you, you actually have the power to wait and or whatever strength you actually need in this situation. Let's find out more about that. I feel like it's you that has this, and you might be like letting yourself be impulsive and not drawing on a strength that you're just maybe even ignoring, or that you don't know you have, Aquarius. Okay, what else? Double strength. What happens? What does it mean when the reader gets the same card twice? This card, what does this card add? Visually, it adds a lot of this feeling, right? I mean, she is nakedly dominating her beastly nature. There's healing here, but it's also very eroticized imagery, Aquarius. So let's see what else. That's interesting. The Magician. I knew the Magician was going to come in, because this is you, because we see you with the having manifested, and this is the card of you having the power and all the tools to manifest. Yeah. Hey, Gandy, can you go on your bed? Thank you. We're just over licking the bowl. Good boy. Thank you. All right. And then there is Resistance, and this is the feeling that I get from the original Strength card. Which is having integrity, using your willpower. It's the same, being the leader of your own life, alpha energy. So you have all the strength that you need to quell this Chariot momentum energy in you, which feels very much coming from your naked, embodied self. You can see she is not giving that up. So I think if you're feeling a lot of, sometimes I never, I just have to say what the cards say, what comes in. So if you're feeling a lot of lust, right, that's what temptation can sometimes be about. If you're feeling a lot of Chariot momentum, wanting to just kind of act on desire, I don't think that's what the problem is. I think there's actually something much more significant that you're being called to have integrity around. It's not a prudish message here. It's a message about recognizing that you have all the power, all the tools to have integrity in some kind of situation, and it is not your sex life. All right? Have fun. There's something else here. It's out of the realm of your erotic life, which is calling you to be your future self is very much the leader of your life, very much in command of what's happening. So there's something here about the sun, the absolutely most happy card in the deck. I feel like I missaid that. The happiest card in the deck, because it's about joy. You can see her just like fully opening herself up, receiving from the sun, the light, spring coming in here. It came in initially as that Jupiter and Aries energy for some reason. Let's see what else. What else? What's this about this? Release the sun. All right, so there's a page of rods. The little, the one I always interpret as the queer card. It's that outside voice. It's the one that isn't a part of the system, that comes from the outside and shows you what you can't see because you live within it. Then we have karma. This is the card of ascension here, judgment. It means that karma will, whatever your karma is, you will, if you have good karma, then you're going to have good luck and be brought to the next level of the video game of life, basically. Yeah, so we can see the whole life cycle here from fetus to death. So this is a card of judgment or karma. Then what? The High Priestess. Yeah, this section right here is so very much about the stars, because we currently have like this cool thing happening with Saturn and the sun and the moon right now, because we're in the new moon, and they're making an eye shape with Pluto and Venus, who are in sextile. It makes an eye, and I was wondering if I'd see the High Priestess in here, because it's very much about intuitive knowing. But what I get here from this thing about what you're supposed to release is it's something about a sense of fate, of fatedness, and that you're being told to let go of that. Like you had set your sights on a dream or a fate, and it's like the things that are written in the stars, and it's actually just all it's saying. It's really simple, actually, is like, let it go. Don't worry about that. Actually, you have no power over that. So instead, focus and embrace what you do have power over, which is this Emperor energy here. So let's see. Interesting, Aquarius. What do you have power over according to your future self? There is grief, and you do have power in the Five of Cauldrons or the Five of Cups. You can focus on the losses, or you can take the new cup that's being offered to you. This is absolutely a perspective shift that is in your power. That's like one of Scorpio's cards. It's really painful. You need to grieve, but then you need to move on. Then we have, another feeling of abandonment, of impoverishment. Another five. Both fives, if you look at Jodorowsky, he interprets fives as passageways. And I like that, because when you're in the Five of Pentacles or the Five of Cups, it's a perspective. And you can feel sorry for yourself, or you can move into, actually, I have plenty. And there's a new love here being offered, a new emotional beginning, divine love or self-love here. And the same with these people who feel poor. The tree is literally growing pentacles, which causes me to think back to this, where, right, you're the gardener, you're making the pentacles, which is your sense of abundance. It can be really 3D and practical, like your job, your wealth, So this is where you do have power, is in your perspective. And there is a new beginning for you to embrace. You can see that there has been a sacrifice on this table. It's a very interesting Ace of Pentacles. So again, new home, new job, new path towards abundance. It's just that you've had to sacrifice something before you move into your new castle here. Could literally be this rabbit. Yeah, it's definitely it is my absolute favorite Ace of Pentacles, that altar with blood on it. You give up your previous cycle, your previous life, and it hurts, right? That's why you get the Five of Cauldrons and the Five of Pentacles. But if you focus on, like, that's over, it was gory and bloody, and now I get to move forward, I'm feeling like this, I'm the leader of my life. And that's what you're being told to embrace here, is like, trust that what you've lost, you'll get, it'll be better what you get moving forward. So here's your future self, very much also, again, the same guy practically, right? It's like the Emperor again, the alpha of the deck, the leader of your own life, King of Wands. And if you have Leo in your chart, or Leo in your life, this seems very much for you. Okay, Five of Rods, competition, chaos. I love the Five of Rods or the Five of Wands. It's just, everybody's got ideas. There's no leader. Some people find it quite uncomfortable, talk about it being a fight, and it is. But if you're cool with a lack of hierarchy, it can be a very creative. Then you get the Ten of Pentacles. See, there you are in the future with your new Ten of Pentacles. You see it starting, and this is the completion of that in the future. This is abundance, security. It's your real life, your 3D life. What else? Six of Swords. There's a change of perspective. Swords are your mind. You've changed your mind. It could be that you move, literally, but I tend to see that this as about you've shifted the paradigm here. So you've changed your mind. You came to terms with whatever you had to sacrifice. You changed your perspective, right, from these two fives. So we see you in the future coming through. There's some kind of conflict that is keeping you from this Ten of Pentacles, whatever this ideal, really real life thing is. It looks like a marriage, but it doesn't have to be a marriage. That's just one. It's just the image of this ideal. It's actually not about love. It's very practical. It's like a partnership. It could be literally a work partnership. So you come through some kind of conflict, disagreement, battle of wills into that ideal Ten of Pentacles through changing your mind here. That's exactly what the other cards are saying. It's you don't realize that you have this, and so you feel like today you're feeling a little bit trapped in this. You're riding towards, as we've seen in the future, this King of Water, this emotionally mature, quiet type. I don't think that's you. I feel like it's a vision that you have, and you're heading there, and there is something that you have to deal with, that you have to let go of, this fate, sense of fate. And then I think that's what you're grieving. You had an idea, the sun of your ultimate happiness, and you have to let that go. This story you had is incorrect, or it's just basically it just says let it go. Shift away from that didn't work out into, well, all sacrifice aside, there is a new life beckoning here, and we see you going towards it in the future. And your future self is looking sexy as hell, leader of your own life, male or female. If you're wondering, so this card kind of tells you how far ahead this person is with wands. It's a pretty quick energy. So that could be very, very soon that you're just feeling like the leader of your life, which is great. Underlying energies to add to this reading, we see Two of Cups. It could literally be a soulmate. It could literally be justice. It's a mirroring equal energy, and it's very different. And the sort of one of the cards I see is the opposite of the Six of Pentacles, which is a hierarchical, unequal kind of giving. There's some more fast energy. This seems to be what you're kind of feeling right now. Is this a part of this journey is to deal with like anger and wanting to act quickly, maybe rashly. We see a lot of choices. Can be illusions, fantasies, dreams. This is choices in love. Seven of Cups. That's what you're trying to, you kind of want to act towards that. Hang on, then there's your Six of Pentacles again, right? That hierarchical giving. So with these cards, we actually can see on the table, when you see them in relation to each other, that there's a meaning that's added, which is, this is how it looks on the table. This knight wanting to act in anger against the soulmate connection, or this sort of, it's like wanting to go towards that quickly. I feel there's like an impulsiveness about you, Aquarius. And I think what you want to be careful of is some of the projections and fantasies and illusions here. And that's what this releases. It's this, like, the sense like the stars, it's fate, like that is what you need to be careful of. And in a way, even though I don't particularly tend to like the Six of Pentacles, it's here twice, right? I like to think the cards say you didn't quite get everything, Heather. So here it is again. It says be generous, and that's what strength can cause you to do. You can be the big person in the conflict here. And I think that's what we're seeing, Aquarius. So, wow, let me know. I'm not sure what this is about. It could be in any area of your life where at the moment you're kind of in your lower self temptation, but you do have your highest self. Once you just take charge of your own fate, and that's not always great advice, but it's your advice here. And your future self is very much that leader. One thought, it's just your future self telling you this message. So take or leave it. You might not agree that that's where you want to head. It does look like you kind of get this really nice situation if you take this advice. So, all right, let me know, Aquarius. Have a beautiful day.